back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Maddie, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'll be answering some more of my Tumblr asks. I don't know what's going on here. He's attacking me. Let's stop. Come on. This is like my regular filming life now. It's just a cat crawling all over me. I just edit it out sometimes, but you know. You're crazy. I did do one of these videos for Fruba Friday last Friday, but I didn't answer any of my spoiler type asks because I didn't want to spoil anyone who was watching who had not seen the anime or read the manga, so I left those questions out, but I do still want to answer them, and I got a few requests from some of you asking me to answer them in a video. So we're going to do a spoiler Tumblr ask this time. That being said, if you have not read the manga to Fruits Basket, if you're an anime only, then I would suggest not to watch this video because I do not want to spoil you. But if you haven't seen my other answering my Fruits Basket Tumblr ask video, then I'll link it on the screen, and that one is completely spoiler free, so if you want to see that one, go check it out. But this one is going to be fun because we're going to be talking about some spoilers, which is something I always love to do because I never get to talk about spoilers, so I'm excited to do this. So let's get started. This one has been sitting in my ask box for probably at least over a month, and I am so sorry for not answering it. It just kept going to the bottom and I kept not seeing it anymore. So I feel bad it's taken me so long to get to this one. But this one is from Fruits Trash Can, and it says, how do you think Kyo and Toru would have gotten together if she hadn't fallen off the cliff? And assuming everything else leading before that stays the same, so the part where she confesses to him that she's in love with him, that all stays the same, and he still runs away. After that, how would they have gotten together had she not fallen off the cliff? So the driving force for Kyo actually giving in and deciding to be with her is actually Yuki, because he pushed him to be with her. I think even if the cliff scene had happened, even if Toru hadn't been in the hospital, Yuki would still have tried to push Kyo to be with her and give in to his feelings, because Yuki had seen that whole confession go down, so he knew exactly what was going on, and I think after that, Toru would have still been really depressed, so he still would have pushed him to do it. I think the cliff scene really isn't the driving force that made Kyo decide to give in to his feelings and pursue her anyway, even though he thought he wasn't deserving of her. It was Yuki and him convincing him forcefully to go after her because he is really the only one who truly makes her happy. So I don't think much would have changed had the cliff scene not been there. The cliff scene just added more drama to all of it. But other than that, I think the outcome still would have been the same. This one says, hello, this might be a little too late, but I've only come across Fruits Basket recently and wanted to know your own thoughts and opinions as to why Kyo rejected Toru's confession in the first place. Hope you're safe in quarantine. Best wishes. Well, thank you for that. I am doing well in quarantine. Getting by. The reason why Kyo rejected her is pretty blatant and obvious. He didn't feel he was worthy of her. He is someone who does not feel he's worthy of love, period, from anyone. So it only makes sense that he'd reject her, especially it being Toru and the past that Kyo had with her mom, and how he feels so guilty still over not saving her mom, because he would have transformed if he did, and he didn't want that to happen. He still feels really guilty over that. And the frustrating thing is that Kyo really does try to force Toru to feel a certain way about him. He's like, you need to hate me because of what I did to your mom. Your mom hates me, at least that's what he thinks, because of what he did to her, even though it really was not his fault. So he feels like Toru needs to hate him, but that's not the case. And yet he still rejected her because he felt like he did not deserve her love at all. And it's so freaking sad because, like I said in the first place, it's not his fault that her mom died because he couldn't save her. When that stuff happens, when something like that kind of accident happens, it happens so fast. He didn't have a lot of time to think, so there really wasn't anything he could do in the first place. So all it comes down to is just him feeling too guilty and feeling like he doesn't deserve love. But eventually he gets there, and he allows Toru in fully now, and everything is happily ever after that. So he really had nothing to worry about. This one I've been really wanting to answer because it's kind of an interesting question. It says, how do you explain Shigure loving Akito since the womb? If even Natsuki Takuya knows it sounds ridiculous, why did she put it in? So this one's easy to answer. As an author, sometimes we put ridiculous, illogical things into our writing, but there's nothing really wrong with that. An author can be aware of the fact that what they're putting into their story may seem a little odd and toxic and taboo, but still add it in because it's fiction. And with fiction, we like to explore different things that wouldn't happen in everyday life. So that's why she did it. I'm sure she was aware, this is ridiculous. How does someone fall in love with a fetus? But still add it in because it makes for a really interesting part of the story. Let me tell you, I've included so many ridiculous things in my writings that if they were to happen in real life, I would be like, what the actual F? Like, I include so many dark, twisted, weird stuff into my stories, but that's just because I'm having fun with it. Like, it's fiction. You can do a lot of fiction. The rules in fiction are not the same as the rules in real life. There's so many things we can do out of the box, and Natsuki Takuya does use some ridiculous taboo aspects in her writing, which I really do like because it just adds to the drama of it. This one says, do you think Akito deserves to suffer more for her actions, or that her current situation is fine? So in the latest chapter of Fruits Basket Another, it was revealed that Akito is suffering a lot for what she did to the family. That being that she's not allowed to go to a lot of gatherings because no one wants her there because everyone is like holding grudges against her. For the most part, not everyone, but a lot of the older Somas are really against her. So she's left out a lot, and she's suffering because of that. It's hard because what Akito did to this family is so terrible. She abused so many of the Zodiac. She traumatized them. They have everlasting PTSD because of her and her actions. So what she did, she deserves to be punished for. But at this point in Fruits Basket Another, I'd say like maybe at least 20 years have passed. Well, I feel like that's a little long for what she has done. Which, now that I think about it though, when you think about it, child abusers usually do go to jail for a long time. So maybe it's not. Maybe she deserves 20 plus years for what she has done. But the reason why I'm like, I want to let her off the hook a little is because she was really, really remorseful. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards she shouldn't have been as punished as she is by being so exiled from most of the family. I think she's learned her lesson and she's definitely moved on. So I would say she deserves a little less of a punishment than what she has gotten because she's a great mother. She has really turned over a new leaf. Her attitude towards just everything has changed and improved so much. Doesn't make what she did in the past right. It's still awful, but I do believe she has changed for the better, and that's good at least. And if anything, at least Toru is there for her all the time. Like, Toru has really forgiven her, given her a chance to prove herself, and is always there by her side, like inviting her to things. She's just amazing. I love that they have a friendship now. This one is a fun one. What do you think are the pet names that Kyoru gives to each other? I don't think they use a lot of pet names. I think that Occasionally, Kyo still calls her, like, stupid, but, like, not seriously, just the way he calls her stupid in which he's just being playful with it, because he's done that before, like, stupid or idiot, and I think it's really cute. I don't know what pet names that, Toru would give Kyo, though. I don't want to say, like, babe and all that. I hate that pet name. Like, no offense to anyone who uses it, but it's, like, it's been around for so long that it's annoying. Oh, no. Bae is even worse. Like, I can handle babe. Bae, I hate with a fiery passion so much. So, like, I don't want to imagine either of them using either of those terms. I think Toru just calls him Kyo-kun. I think that's a cute enough pet name already, even though that's his real name. I love it when she calls him that, so I'm going to go with that. This one is interesting because I kind of already talked about this. I think Akito should have gone to jail for her actions. Ren too. Like I said, realistically, Akito should have gone to jail for what she did. I mean, people go to jail for child abuse, and she was a child abuser. She also pushed Rin out the window, which should land her a few years in jail. Like, definitely she should have. I think she should have gotten 20 years max, because you got to think about, she was also a child herself when she was abusing children, so you'll get off a little bit for that, but she definitely should have gone to jail. Rin, totally, because she did mentally abuse Akito. I don't think she would quite go to jail for that, but she should have definitely had her child taken away from her, which I think Akito ended up being raised by the older Somas anyway, so really Ren didn't raise her a lot. But if Akito was in her hands, then definitely she would have needed to be taken away. Honestly, don't think Ren would have ended up in jail for anything, because all she did was verbally abuse the Somas, and that's about it, and you can't really go to jail for that. But does that make her a good person? Is she still morally wrong and a bitch? Yes, so we should still all hate her. This one says, the scene in the manga where Rin tries to get the box and Akito catches her is unsettling, not just because of who caught Rin, but the fact that Akito isn't being extremely angry and freaking out like usual. So this one is super interesting because that's not something I ever realized before, but yes, during that scene, Akito was really collected, and somehow that just makes it all the more eerie. Like, the fact that she wasn't throwing a tantrum was really weird. Like, after I saw this comment, I was like, wow, you are so right. That just makes it all the more unnerving. Like, it just seemed unnatural for her to be that collected, but it really made her seem like pure evil because she was so cool about it, if you know what I mean. I've seen some villains act that way before, and I'm just like, ugh, this is scary. So, yes, now that I think about it, during that scene, that was really unnerving. This one isn't even a spoiler question, but it's really funny. It asks, does Kyo have abs? I mean, have you seen? We've gotten some shots of him with abs in the anime, which I am all for. However, he doesn't have abs in the manga. But in the anime, God bless, they gave him abs, and I'm just like, yes. I just drool at the side of it. This one asks, what do you think of Hajime x Mitsuki in Another? I personally ship it. Oh man. Well, I will tell you, I've actually thought about this ship before. I think the relationship between Hajime and Mitsuki is so freaking cute. I am all for it. I mean, I love them as friends as well, but if like it were to go something further, I think I would be totally okay with it. They are so freaking supportive of each other, and they've had such a similar upbringing that I feel like they would just naturally always get along really well because they understand how each other was raised. They have a similar family background. So I just feel like they would really get each other, and they do really get each other. Also because they grew up together, and I love childhood friends to lovers romances. That's one of my favorite tropes, so probably the main reason why I like this ship so much. If it were to happen, it's got my seal of approval. For sure. This one says, how was Hatsuharu treated by his parents? I don't recall him being abused by his parents or them mean to him. So because we never see Haru's parents, you know, I can't really answer that. I can only make guesses, so I'm sorry I can't like give an affirmative answer. But we do get like little hints about his parents, in which a few episodes ago Haru mentioned that his mom is going to take forever to get to the school after he had his tantrum in the classroom to pick him up, because she has to take the time to put her makeup on, which is like a passive thing to say, but it kind of indicates to me that maybe she just doesn't care about him that much, because you would think she'd want to be there right away if she heard that this had happened and be there for him. But he just mentions, oh, she's just going to take forever to put her makeup on, so I got so much time to kill. And that just means to me that she doesn't really care that much. So I get the impression that his parents are not horrible, but they just aren't super involved in his life and just are kind of passive about him. There hasn't been any indication that they hate him because he's part of the Zodiac, but I also think they're pretty indifferent, which is actually just as sad, because to not have any support from your parents has to be awful. I like probably would rather have my parents hate me than just be super passive towards me, because I mean, at least they'd feel something for me, so that has to be pretty hard. This one says, Momiji blushing, clinging to Toru in his little bunny form gave me pain. That scene was so cute when they come back from visiting Akito. They come back to the beach and see Toru, and Momiji just like slams into her and hugs her, turns into a bunny. It's such a Momiji thing to do. Like, I love how comfortable he is transforming in front of her. He doesn't care one bit. He just wants to hug Toru, have her hold him. This is why Momiji and Toru is one of my favorite ships, because the love that they show to each other, the love that Momiji physically shows to her is so friggin' adorable. And how she was just holding him as a bunny and he's just like curled up on her shoulder just blushing because she's holding him. I died. As y'all saw my reaction, I died. Well, that is all I'm going to answer. Such great questions. Thank you to my Tumblr followers for sending those to me. If you would like to follow me on Tumblr or send me an ask on there, then definitely go follow me. I will leave my username on the screen. It is 𝑘𝑒_. I would love to see you over there. And if I do one of these videos again and you send me an ask, maybe I'll answer it. So please do. I would love to see that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more anime related videos and anime reactions. And also be sure to click that bell icon beside the subscribe button if you want to be notified for whenever I post a new video. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.